Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today on Microsoft M365 Masterclass training session. Today, we are going to be dealing with Microsoft Planner. And like I always keep saying, just to draw our mind to the immense, valuable resources we have just by signing on to the M365. It comes with more than 14 to 15 native Microsoft apps, which are supposed to help you organize yourself better, collaborate better, and enhance work. And I think for the past month, we've been treating Microsoft Teams. For the past month, we've been treating Microsoft Teams. Please, you are free to use the comment section if perhaps you can't hear me or you need any special attention so that we can attend to you. So for the past month, in 2 sessions, we've been treating the Microsoft Teams, how to collaborate, how to co-author documents among teams and all that. Today, we are going to treat Microsoft Planner. It's a brilliant small project management tool that can help you organize various tasks, assign them to responsible persons, also give you that broader view to be able to assess when a task is done and completed and all that. So I wouldn't take the wind out of the sail of my presenter. Without much ado, I would hand over to the presenter for today, who is Obed. So Obed, kindly take over.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie, for that brief introduction. You are all once again welcome to today's session on Microsoft Team Planner. My name is Obed Ayete, and I'll be taking you through today's session. Now, I believe we are all familiar with planning in our various organizations, and we know how useful planning can be when we are tasked with handling or managing projects. Sometimes planning can become a very difficult thing to do, looking at how sometimes you have to break down the projects that you are supposed to undertake into smaller and manageable tasks for people to be assigned to do. Um, Sometimes to having to track the progress of the tasks that have been assigned to the assignees, and also getting that platform for people to be able to collaborate and then find better ways of handling the activities they are supposed to do on a project. It becomes difficult sometimes, and even sometimes the project managers lose track of who is to do what and when things should be done on the project. That is where Microsoft Planner comes in. So it's just a very simple tool which gives you a visual way of managing all your plans, managing all your activities on a particular project to be able to achieve it successfully. Now, it's advisable to use Planner every day because it helps you to achieve a lot. You don't just have to reserve it for some projects or whatnot. So within the next 30 to 45 minutes, we'll be looking at how to make good use of Microsoft Planner. So um, like I said, with Planner, you're able to create new plans and you're able to assign those plans or tasks to the users within your organization. Okay, so with the Planner, we will see how we can create activities and then assign them to your colleagues within the organization. Within the same platform, we can also share files with our friends. So at some point, you want to share a document or you want to share an image or any file at all that you want to draw maybe people's attention to a particular information, or you want to solicit for some kind of um, collaboration. Okay, you want to work on that same document, you have the opportunity to do that on the platform. Planner also helps you to organize your teamwork and collaborate on projects in a simple and visual way. And that's very important because Planner gives you a, um, a very nice visual way of viewing your plans and also making and also able to manage from Planner. Okay, so you're also able to chat with others to make sure you are on the same page. Okay, so Planner gives you that platform to be able to communicate with your colleagues on the same project, and then you know what is happening and at what time. Planner also helps us to keep track of um, your team's progress and stay on top of your work from anywhere on any device. So it's accessible on the web or online and also on your mobile phones. So this means that anywhere you are, you can update your team on what is happening, on what you are doing, and if you are done with any of the assignments that you have, you can update them wherever you are. So it comes in handy and easy to use. And now we are going to look at the session outline for the next few minutes. Okay, so we are going to look at the over. Okay, that's been done already. So we are going to go to identifying and launching the planner app. We are going to see how we can create a new plan. We'll also see the difference between public and a private plan. We'll also be examining the various views that we have within the planner application that are available to us. We'll also look at the concept of buckets and how we can use it to properly manage our activities. We are also going to look at how to create tasks within our plans and then how we are going to assign those tasks that we will create to the users within our environment. We are also going to see how we can attach files and then links or attachments to the various tasks that we have. And then we are going to see how we can add checklists, comments, and notes to the tasks that will have been created. We'll also look at how those who have been assigned tasks, okay, at the other end can view the tasks that they've been assigned to at their end and also work on them and update the project manager on how things are going at their end. And then we'll also look at moving assignments from one stage to the other that is in progress to completed. So without wasting time, I'm going to open my browser and I'm going to launch I'm going to enter into my portal. That's my M365 environment. So we can do that by typing portal.office. Okay, and then now we enter our details. And then we'll enter. And please kindly note that as we move on, if you have any question, if you want to draw my attention to anything, you have the opportunity to do so. You can just raise your hand. Okay, you can notify me and then I'll be glad to answer your questions. So, okay, so now that we are in our portal, we have the application showing on the left-hand side of your plan application. You can just go onto your all applications and then you will find planner within your applications. Once you see it, you just click on it and then it takes you. So once you are using this for the first time, you have all this to see. Then you have the option to create a new plan, but then for the demo, we won't do that now. So you have this platform to you, and then on your left hand side, We see some options here. We see new plan here. So this option helps you to create your plans. And then we have the planner hub. This is where you can view all your plans. And then anytime you create a plan, you find it in the planner hub. And then when we are added to any plan too, you see all the details over here. And then we have my tags. So this is where we can view all the tags that has been assigned to us. Okay, so every tag that has been assigned to you, you can view it from here, and you can also make changes as to when. So, for instance, if you have been assigned to do anything, from here you can change your settings to whether the task is in progress or is completed, and then we will see how we can also explore this shortly. We also have the favorites. So anytime you mark, excuse me, anytime you mark a task as favorite, it shows up here, and that's just so that you will see, you at just a glance you can see it, and it's useful if you have a lot of plans and you want to keep some on top of the others. That's when you use the favorites. And then we have this option here that shows you the all your recent plans that have been assigned to you. At the top, so for the purpose of this demo, we are going to create a plan with the assumption that I work with a production company, and the CEO of the company has tasked me to introduce a new product into the system. And so we are going to see how we can use Planner to achieve that purpose as the project manager. So once you hit on the new plan, you have the option to give the plan a name. So we are going to name it as the TF. So this is where we have the option to choose whether to make it public or private. And the difference is once you choose the public option, it shows the plan to everyone in the organization. So everyone has the opportunity to see the plan that has been created. But then with the private option, it's only those who are members of the plan that have access to view the plan and also to join. Okay, and then we have this option here too. So this is useful when you already have a group created within your M365 environment. So what this does is that once you create it from here, all the members within the existing group are automatically added to this plan. So once you are satisfied with these settings, you just create your plan. Okay, now that our plan has been created, let's just explore the options we have at the top. So here is where we have the name of the project. And when we click on it, it gives us the plan, the settings to the plan. Okay, so here we see that we can rename our project. We have some backgrounds to play with just to beautify it. And it helps you to also separate the background from the task, because sometimes when the tasks are many, it tends to conflict with the background if it's white, because the tags are put on white cards, which sometimes conflicts with the background. So you can choose any background you want from here, and then you can also change the group settings from here. Okay, you can change the private to public if you want, and then you also have the notification settings here that you can also change to suit your plan. So once you're okay with it, you just close it. And we see this star just beside the name. This is what adds your plan to favorites. So once you click on it, it shows up in the favorites tab over here, and you can click on it again to take it off. Okay, so let's just leave it on. We have the board, that is the page we are working on right now. Okay, and then we have other options here as chat. So this gives you another view, okay, in a chat form. of your plan. So we'll be looking at all this soon. We have the schedule here. This is like a calendar for the group, okay, and for the plan. So we'll see how this one too works now in a few minutes time. When you click on the ellipsis, we have these options here. We have conversations, we have members. Okay, we have all these options here that we'll be exploring soon. Okay, and then we have the members tab. So this is where you can add members to this particular plan. So let's add a few members right now. Add. Let's add. So let's add. Okay, let's add. Let's add count. Great. So once you are done with that, you also have the filter. This helps you to be able to filter through your plan. So sometimes your plan might consist of a lot of details, and you want to be able to find a particular one, and you don't want to go through all the plans. You can just use the filter option here. So there are some presets here that you can use. You can check it with the dates. You can also do it based on priority. We have progress, label, buckets. As to how or what information you need, you can do that. And then you can also group. You can also group your task by bucket or by people who have been assigned to it, or by progress, by due date, however that it pleases you. You can do all that over here. But by default, you have your groupings in the form of a bucket. So we'll be looking at that. So now that we know what all these buttons are for, we are going to create some few activities here. So let's add some of the tasks that we'll be doing to make sure that this project becomes a success. Okay, let's add a task. Let's add pricing. So we are listing all the tasks pertaining to this project, and then we'll see what we can do next. And then also setting up the so we can make use of this. So we see add new buckets here. The buckets are just a way of sorting out your task into groups, or it helps you to be able to group your task into relatable groups. So for instance, in our company, we have departments who want to set these activities per department. Okay, you have the option to use the buckets to do so. You can also use the buckets to group your task as maybe in a form of phases. Okay, so if your project is going to be in phases, you can use the bucket to identify those phases that you'll be having. So we want to use the bucket here to group our activities into phases. Okay, so Once you click on it, you have the opportunity to rename the bucket, and we'll use this as the development phase. So we are grouping our project into phases, and then we'll add another one as the phase where we introduce the product. Okay, and then we'll add the last one as the marketing phase. Okay. So now that we have all this set up, we want to group, or we want to group the task into the phases that we've created. So we can just do that by click and dragging the task into the phase that is supposed to be. So we can do that easily from here. You can do all this within the planner application. All right. Great. So now that we've been able to sort all this out, we can't just leave the plans like that. We'll have to definitely assign it to our colleagues to be able to start working on them. And then we can do that by, so once you click on any of the plans, for instance, you have more options to choose from. So with this option, for instance, let's assign it to someone. So we can assign this because it's with this stage we'll assign it to Neve. Okay, and then we have the option to add labels. So labels is another way of also is a way of identifying your or sorting out your plans using labels. So the label just gives you some color codes that you assign to your task, that so that once you see those colors, you know that okay, so this label has been created for IT, and so anywhere you see this color code, it means IT. So if you have anything like that in your environment, you can make use of this. You have the option to change this particular task between the phases that we've created, but we'll leave it in the development phase. We also have the progress of this particular task. Okay, so now it's set to not started. Once you click on the drop down, we have the other two options as in progress and completed. So depending on the state of the task, you can set it from here. And then as I'm the one creating this plan, I can also determine the level of priority that I want to give to this task. So I could say that this task is very important, and it will, so that whoever is assigned to it will know that he has to take note of that. We also have the option to set start time, and then we also have the opportunity to set a due date. So let's just do as today, and then a due date to maybe Monday. That's fine. And then if there's any particular thing I want maybe the assignee to take note of, I could just type it here. Okay. Just type it here. And so whoever was assigned to it will go and see it. Okay. And then we also have the checklist option here. So here is where you can use as a subtask to this particular task. So if there's a huge task and then you want to break it down into further smaller tasks, you could use this option here. And then you have the option to add attachments. Okay, so you can add attachments from your computer. You could get it from your Teams file, and you can also get a link a link to a URL and share it so that everyone on this particular project or this particular task will be able to have a look at. So you can also collaborate or have conversations on this particular task from here. You have the option to add comments too. to this particular task. So let me just input a. So I'm telling him to get right to it because it's very urgent. And once you are satisfied with the settings, you can just close it. And then we'll just do this similar process to let's assign this to maybe a Rabna. Oh, okay. 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 So this is okay. All right. Okay. And then let's assign this to okay. So let me assign this to batch. Okay, so anytime you are adding someone who is not already in the team to undertake a particular task, it prompts you, and then once you click on the assign and add, it adds the person to the group and also is able to assign the task to that particular person. So with this few, we've been able to assign a few people to the task. Okay. Now when we come back to the Planner Hub, for instance, you realize we have this view. So even without opening it, the project manager can just have a quick view of what's happening within the plan that has been created. We see that, okay, we have 5 of the tasks not started. We see that there's 1 in progress. Okay, there's no late task here, and there's none of them completed. Okay, so just from here, we can even get a fair idea of what's happening within our plan. Once you click on it, it takes you back into the plan, and then you can make further changes if you want. So you have the option to view your plans too in a chart form. So this gives you a visual representation of your plan. Okay, so we have these cards here. So this card, for instance, is by status. Okay, so it's able to give you information as to the status of the task that has been assigned. Okay, so just by hovering your mouse over this, we know that, okay, so we have 5 tags that hasn't been started. We have 1 that's in progress. Okay, and then we have a group by bucket 2 over here, so we can look at the chart by buckets from here too. Okay, and then we have a group by priority 2. So, and then we also have a group by members. So from here, you can even see those who have been assigned more tasks, and you can use it to effectively manage the tasks that you've been giving to people. So if you look here and you see that, oh, maybe one person has been given more tasks and another person has been given list, you could use the information here to go and then make changes to those particular plans or tasks. Okay. When we come to the schedule tool, we see that all the plans that have dates attached to them are displayed over here, and from here you can also make changes to it. So once we're able to set due dates for all of them, it shows up on the calendar, and then those who are in charge of it can also make changes from here. So once you are done with this project, for instance, you can just come here and then show that it's completed, and then it will still show that the project is completed from here. Okay. So let's explore the options we have here. So in the introduction, I made mention of having to be able to collaborate on every project that you want to have. So we have the conversation option here, which helps us to be able to have that effective communication within our within our group, okay, pertaining the same project. So once you hit on this conversation, it takes us straight to Outlook. Planner has been integrated with is able to integrate with other applications effectively, and one of them is Outlook. So once you hit on it, it takes you straight to Outlook, and then it takes you to your group that has been created within Outlook. And from here, we're able to see what's been happening in the what's been happening in our plan. So we have been updated on what's happening on every information, and then we are also effectively able to collaborate on the same project from here. Okay, so you see that once you click on it, you can come in here and then reply in Planner from here. Okay. And then we have the members option here. So once you click on it, it takes you to Outlook again, and then it takes you to your contacts in Outlook. And this is useful when you are trying to get external people, that's people who are not in your organization, to also work on the same project. Maybe you need a third party to undertake some task that you already you've already listed. So from this place, you can add them. You can add them in the Planner application. So once you come here, you can assign people as guests. So when you click on the add members, for instance, you see this option here which says who is a guest. So it gives you a description. Guests are people from outside the organization who are not in your tenant. So once you have anyone like that, you can just type their emails over here, and then it will pop up, and then you'll be able to add them to the plan. And so they'll be added to the plan as guests, so that they can also be part of the project as and when it goes on. And then we have the files. This shows you all the files that has been shared on the plan. You have a notebook. It just creates one note where you can have your collaboration with your colleagues on. Okay, we also see remove from favorite. You can copy this plan and then use it to create another plan. Okay, we also have the option to export plan to Excel. So sometimes you want to keep a hard copy of your plan, or you also sometimes want to use other tools to be able to analyze the data within this plan. If that is what you want to do, you can export the plan to Excel, and once you do that, it will just download an Excel file for you. Okay, so let's see how this looks. So when you open it, you have your details here. You have your tax ID, you have the tax name. So it just gives you the details that you have within the planner, and then you can go ahead and print it or use it as you wish. You also have you have option to copy the link to the plan and then share it to others so that they can also join. You have your plan settings here, and you can actually add this plan to your Outlook calendar so that you get notification as and when you need it. You can set, so based on your notification settings in Outlook calendar, okay, you can get reminders as to the plans that you've added to your calendar. As and when it's getting closer, you'll be getting notification based on your settings. So you also have the option to do that from here. Okay. Great. So once all this is done, once you have, let's go back to our board. All right. So at the other hand, those who have been assigned to tasks can view them from the My Task option. So let me go back and assign this task to myself. Okay. Good. So when we come here, okay, so I can see that, well, I've been assigned to a particular task to do, and when I click on it, this is the view that I have the options here, and I can If there's any notes attached to it, I can view it from here and I can add my own. If I can change the progress from here, okay. And then if there's any attached file you want me to view pertaining this particular task, I can get all those tags here. And then if I also have any attachments that I want to attach to this particular task, I can do that from here. And if there's any comment here, or I can just initiate a comment here, and then all those who have been, we are working on the same project, can view what's happening on this particular task. So I have the option to do all that here. Once I close it, you realize that it's moved from not started to in progress. So in the same way, we have the same options here. If you want to view it, you have this view here that gives you a representation of the task that you have been able to that you are working on, actually. Because we have just one task, we see just one information over here, and from here we're able to also view at our end how we are managing our tasks, the task that has been assigned to us. We have the same options here, and then we also have the filter option that helps us to filter our task, like I mentioned earlier, and the group option too here. So whenever you send, or whenever you are added to any task, you get an email notification that you've been added to a group and you've been assigned a task. Okay. And so there's no way that you'll be added to a particular activity and you won't know about it. Okay. So when we go back to the plans that we have here, just by looking at it, we realize some few changes. So if you hover your mouse over this particular icon, you see that it says it's in progress. So if for instance it changes, okay, let me show you this. Okay, so this is, all these tasks are marked completed. Okay, so you can see them over here just by hovering over it, and it gives you a visual representation of whatever is happening. So with this particular activity, you realize that, Carl shared a document here. So me being the project manager, I can just go in and open it up, and we see that it opens Word online for us, and then okay, we're able to access the information on it. If I have any contribution, I can make it. Carl can also join me on this particular project, and then we'll collaborate on it and then make changes at the same time. So we have all those options available to us. So let's see. This is a different account from what I used earlier. Okay. So when I come to my task, like I said earlier, we see that, okay, so I've been assigned to this particular task. And then I will just state that, oh, okay, this task is completed. And then I leave the comment. Great. So now I'll go back to this account, and then we have everything updated beautifully. So now when we come back to our charts, we see the changes over here. So now we see that there's an extra ring here that shows that these tasks have been completed. When you come here, see that this is in progress. You have all these options to view. So this can come in handy when you have a lot of tasks, you have a lot of plans in place, and then you want to just have a visual look of all that's happening. This helps you to do that. Effectively within Teams too, we can be able to access Planner from there. We'll be looking at that shortly, but before that, we want to see how we can delete a particular plan. So when we come to the Planner Hub, and I come here. So in case you are done with this project and you want to delete it, You can do that in the plan settings. So within the plan settings, we have group, and we see delete this group. So what this does is that it deletes the entire group. But sometimes you want to keep the group so that if there's any other project another time, you can use that same group. And so you wouldn't want to delete the group as a whole with the plan, but then you just want to probably delete just the plan. You have the option to do that. So from the general, we have delete this plan. And once you hit on it, it's able to delete the plan and keep the group as well. We saw the last time that we are able to use some applications from Microsoft effectively within Teams. Okay, and then we are able to so that we make Teams a central place for all our working activities and all our collaboration. So if that's what you want, you can also access the application within your Teams environment. So when you open your Teams environment, you can we can create a team from the group that is part of the plan. So from here we can go to join and create a new team. I'm sure you are familiar with creating the team in Teams. So once we click on it, we have the option to create the group or the team from a group that we've already created. So when we come to our environment, we locate the group we created as the TF Products Launch. And once we click on it and then create, okay, it creates a team from that particular group that has been created for the project. So if we want to attach the plan to it, ideally you just click on the add a tab, and then this is the planner application within Teams. But then if you don't find it here, you can just search for it, search planner, and then you have this icon. You click on it, and then you're able to create your plan from here. So you just click on the use an existing plan from this team, and then you locate the plan from your environment. So I'll just want to show you how it's going to look like when you do that. So this team, for instance, has already added a tab to it, and we see it's shown here. And once you click on it, you have the same view as what you have on the web. Okay, and so from here to you're able to do you're able to manage your task effectively from here. So once you click on it, you have the option to change the progress and also collaborate effectively on this particular project. So you can use Teams as a central point where you have all your applications, and then you, rather than switching in between Teams and other applications and all that, all your collaboration and all your work can be done in Teams. Having said that, I bring my presentation to an end, and I'll ask Eddie to continue. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Obed, for the presentation. I think I'll let Carl come in to show you a more complex planner that was set for a particular project. Then I'll come in also to give you typical use cases where we can use the planner in our workplace. Then we'll wrap up for today's session.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Edmond. So I'll quickly share my screen. As Obed was saying, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can use Planner or to create any other product that you like. But in-house, I'll just quickly demonstrate to you how we're able to use the Planner to, to work on this particular project with our clients. Okay, so can you all see my screen? Okay, so this is just a particular project that we did with one of our clients. Okay, so that is Zenith Bank, for instance. So we had a project with one of our clients, for instance. So you can see that with our plan, for instance, you can see that we group our project into various weeks. So every week and activities that we did. So you can see that we have our week one. You can see that I have week one activities. You can see the outline. we have week 2. We could see the week 2 activity also also outlined. Then we could also see the week another. So all the activities that we did for for the various weeks. So we could see that we've always outlined them in the form of buckets, and then we have activities or attacks that we also created under them. So this is how you can make good use of the planner in your environment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Carl, for that. So, like Obed showed, it could be from a simple task which is going to take you a week, or it could be a very complex task that would even take you even up to a year or more. So, I would sum up the entire conversation and bring it home that typically in our work environment, what are the use cases that would require us to use a planner? So you could use planner also to look at your whole annual corporate. You can use it as a annual corporate compliance tracker for all your statutory requirements. So let's say you are in charge of REX, you need to make sure that PAYE is filed on time, SNET is filed on time, maybe your annual returns are submitted on time to the Registrar General and all that. All you need to do is to sit at the comfort of your PC, set the various tasks, put the various timeline. As we are aware, PAYE, you are supposed to do it by the 15th of the month. So you set to whoever, whether it's your account manager, you give him that task and say that by the 13th, you are supposed to do XYZ. And you could do attachment that he should use. You could also include your HR. So from the command of your PC, you are able to assign all these taxes even up to 1 year. And all you need to do is that you check on your dashboard as and when the tasks are complete. But I had some glitch with the internet. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that you're able to use the planner to track all the entire activities of the business, whether it's your team's interdepartment meeting or even on a huge corporate level. So at this stage, if there are any questions, kindly let's have it in the comment section. Then we would have time to respond to it, and we'll wrap up for today's session. In the absence of any questions or comments, we want to thank you so much today for joining our masterclass. And we are hoping to come back again next 2 weeks for another app within your 365, and also to demonstrate how it will be essential in your various working activities. Thank you so much.